and momentous day for our shul and our community. Today marks the completion of the first phase of our future campus with the opening of Esti's playground. This is a dream come true for our community and the beginning of the realization of our dream becoming a reality with the full opening of our campus, Be'ezras Hashem, in about a year from now. I'd like to thank those who have contributed to our capital campaign so far and encourage those of you who have not yet done so to identify yourselves as help is still needed for us to get to the finish line. I want to thank our construction committee, and today in particular, to those who have overseen the construction and the completion of the playground project. I specifically want to recognize Mr. Joe Landsberg, whose hard work, including several days of physical labor of his own recently, brought this project to reality. Today is also bittersweet in that in opening the playground in Esti's memory, we recall her devastating loss just a few short years ago. At the same time, we look to our beloved Rabbi Philip and Ariel Moskowitz and their family and their extended family and thank them for their vision in creating this special space for our community to memorialize Esti in such a meaningful way, for their leadership in helping raise the funds for this project, and for overseeing its completion. As a community, we commit to continue smiling to change the world, and in this way, try to bring some comfort to you and remember her in this meaningful way. Please give your attention to Amar Asra.
I want to begin by acknowledging the whole community who's come together for this momentous milestone, as Shimon just described. Community leaders, and in particular Rabbanim from throughout the community who've made a priority to be here. It's a statement of the unity of our greater community, our ability to celebrate together. It means the world to us that you are here. In particular, Rosh Hashiva of Willig has made it a priority to be with us this morning as he's here for this celebratory weekend. Rebbe, it means so much, not only the effort throughout the entire Shabbos, and looking forward to celebrating the Haftarah this evening, but that Rebbe is here this morning. As Shimi said, and I'm not going to echo and repeat all that he said, but it's a huge milestone. It's an extraordinarily exciting morning for us because this dream, this expanded campus, you see the work and the construction that's taking place. This milestone, this represents the completion of the first phase. Esti's playground is the beginning. It's the beginning of the completion of this dream. And I want to take just one moment. You've heard this before. You may hear it again. But there's such excitement and such energy and passion surrounding why we're doing this. It bears repeating. We're not building bricks and mortar. We're not adding square footage. We are expanding our mission, our fingerprint, our impact here in South Florida. Boca Raton Synagogue, all that we stand for our diversity and our unity, in davening and in learning, in chesed, in commitment and standing with Israel, in community and being together one with another, we'll be able to do it much more broadly, deeper, more meaningfully with this expanded campus. It's not about the square footage or the decor. It's about the impact and the influence that we can have together. Today marks the first step complete in that process and in that journey. Over Yontif, you saw that we're out of space. And with this new square footage, with the expanded campus, we'll be able to host, empower, and enrich and inspire so much more. From the basin that meets here, the Florida Chesed Network, where Tomchei Shabbos packages are picked up and delivered from here, to the youth and teen activities, to all the learning for men and for women, the Beis Medrash, the Midrashah, and so much more. And as Shimi said, while we're far along in our dream, we still need your help. There still are many dedication opportunities available, and if you'd like to learn more about it, talk more about it, then please, we would welcome the opportunity to get together and to share. I want to echo the enormous thank you to Rabbi Rebbetzin Moskowitz for all their hard work on this phase of our campus and the whole campus project. Esti's playground has been a labor of love for them. It's been incredibly powerful to see each and every day Rabbi Moskowitz walk the playground, supervise, and give attention to every single detail of love and affection to ensure it can serve our children, that it will be a proper memorial for Esti, that it will be done right. Every single part of it, from engaging partnership to support it, to make it happen, to the details of all that's going on. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for your leadership and your efforts for this extended period leading up to today. Thank you so much. Ashini said there was a wonderful committee, one of the most functional committees we ever had, working together in partnership, communicating, all single-minded in their purpose and their goal of getting this done and getting it done right. And as Shini mentioned, not only Joe, others got their hands literally dirty, including this morning, to make sure that it's a place that's pure and pristine, and it's beautiful, that it's right and it's righteous for our children. Thank you to all who've worked so hard. So Divrei Bracha, a quick word. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Why start with a playground? Why is that the milestone, the completion of phase one? And you could ask yourself, why a playground at all? A classic traditional shul is a place of davening and of learning. Why such an elaborate and expanded multi-age phase playground? Why have it on our campus at all? And why is that the priority, that it was number one to finish it today? And I know we just began Sefer Bereshis, but I want to fast forward to the book of Shmos to answer that question. Before the 8th Makkah, before the 8th plague, Paro relents. He's finally willing to let the Jewish people go, if but for a short time. He's convinced. Paro relents and he says, fine, you can go. But me, who's going? Who's going? And what exactly did Paro need? Their passport numbers? Their visas? What was the question, mi vami alchim, and why the redundancy, mi vami, twice? And Moshe answers. Moshe says, we're all going. Everyone, young and old, our sons and our daughters, we're all going. And the Kli Yakar wonders, what's this conversation? What is this interaction that's taking place? What's the dialogue? What was Paro's question? What is Moshe answering? What's going on? And he explains that when Paro said mi vami, he meant mi vami, to the right and to the left. Who's going? Holchim means, Holchim is the way of the world. If you look around the world, when it comes to religious activity, when it comes to religious life, when it comes to religious leadership, it's the men, the clergy, the priests. They lead the way. Both on the right and the left, mi vami, look this way and look that way, look at every other religion and people, and the holchim, the way of the world, is that the men, the clergy, the priests, they're the ones who lead the way. So tell me, who are the leadership? Who are the religious leaders? Where are the men, the clergy of your people? To which Moshe responds, no, you don't get it. You don't know who we are and what we're made of. You don't know what our people are about and what our religion is expecting and building of us. Binarenu ubizkonenu. We don't relegate or delegate religious life to the elite, to religious leadership, to the men, the priest, the pastor, the clergy. It's everybody. Binarenu ubizkonenu. Young and old, our sons and our daughters. Why? Because if you want religion to be vibrant and dynamic and exciting, joyful and fun, ki chag Hashem lanu. Yiddishkeit, a Jewish way of life, is having fun and playing on a playground at shul. Associating the place I go to daven and to learn, the place I go to be part of community, the place I go to volunteer and do chesed is also the place I go to play and to laugh and to have fun. This is the completion of our first phase because we want this campus to be a place that is Chag Hashem Lanu. It's joyful and it's fun and it's festive. It's exciting and enthusiastic. It's vibrant, dynamic. It's alive. We want children to clamor. When can we go to shul to play? When can we hang out at the shul? It's a destination. It is the central place of community. It's the place that we go to feel support and love. It's the place that we go to for enrichment and inspiration. It's the place we go to smile and to laugh and to have fun. And that's exactly who Esti Aleh Shalom was. That's what it's named for. This is not just a playground like any other. Throughout Boca Raton City, there are playgrounds. Many of us have gone and raised our children playing there, and the only character, their only identity are the slides and the rock climbing and the different fun activities to do there. This playground is a place for education, for spiritual and religious growth. It's a place to follow in the footsteps of Esti and to change the world through our smiles and our positivity. It's a place of Chag Hashem Lanu. Esti's derech eretz, her love to each of her peers, her classmates, her friends, her strong attention and effort to make sure that everyone was included and nobody was left out. It's the positivity and the fun and the zest for life. It's as the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos reminds us, having Mekabel is kol ha'adam mesever panim yafos. The Mishnah specifically, Shammai teaches Kabel. Every person, Kabel means to receive, to accept, to take in the whole of the other person. To be a clay kibul, to receive the good and the positive in the other. Sometimes that takes a savor, a svara. Sometimes you have to use your logic, your analytic ability. Sometimes you have to dig deep and look, but if you do, you will find the good and the positive and the connection always with the other person. And then panim yafos, you'll see the pnim, that's yafos. You'll see the inside, the good that is so beautiful and that is so worthwhile. So we couldn't be more excited for this morning as a community to celebrate this milestone, the completion of the first phase. That's not accidental, it's by design. Ben areinu ubizkeneinu, young and old, to be drawn to this campus, to this place of Torah, of Yiddishkeit, of a relationship with Hashem, of love for one another. And it begins with the children. For the children to be drawn, ki chag Hashem lanu, b'nareinu, b'bnoseinu, b'vaneinu, for our children to want to come here. We're deeply indebted to all those supporters who made it happen, to the Moskowitzes for putting this incredible, incredible day together and making this playground a reality. We hope it elevates, we know it will elevate Esti's neshama. We hope and pray it brings comfort to your family and to our community. We know that her neshama will be felt each and every day through the smiles and the play, through the love and the energy, and through the lessons that will be learned on this playground. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. It's an incredible zechus to stand here today as a community gathered together with honored family, friends, and donors as we dedicate the new Esti Moskowitz at our Shalom Playground, a space that will soon be filled with the laughter, joy, the imagination of our children. As we gather together between Parshas Noach and Parshas Lech Lecha, the timing feels divinely orchestrated. In Parshas Noach, the world is rebuilt, a new beginning after tremendous loss. And in Parshas Lech Lecha, Avram Avinu is called by Hashem, Lech Lecha me'artzecha, go forth from your land to build, to journey, and to create something lasting and filled with purpose. This playground represents the beautiful bridge between these two parshiot. Like Noah, we've built something from the ground up, something meant to nurture our children and sustain life. And like Avraham, we've answered a call to invest in the future of our children, to create a place where they can flourish in safety, in happiness, and community. The Medrash Rabbah in BRS tells us that when Hashem commanded Avraham to leave everything familiar behind, Avraham didn't ask where or why, he simply went. The Rambam explains that this was a test, not just of faith, but of character, to build even without clarity, to step forward because one believes that the act of building itself brings blessing. And that's precisely what this project reflects, emunah in action. From the very first sketch to the very last bolt that was tightened, this playground was built with faith, commitment, and an unshakable belief that when we as a Kehillah come together for the sake of our children, Hashem adds his blessing to our efforts. We battled the Chagim, rain delays, supply challenges, and meshing with multiple contractors and change orders, and yet, thank God, Baruch Hashem, we made it out on top. And in case you were wondering, Rabbi Moskowitz always kept a very cool head and wasn't nervous one bit. The Midrash of Gracious Rabbah points out something remarkable in Parshas Noach, within the story of the Tower of Babel. Even though their intentions were wrong in its building and their goal misguided, Hashem did not destroy them as he did in the flood because they had achdus, they had unity. Hashem values unity so highly that even a misguided mission gains endurance when people act together and in harmony. Now take that lesson, let's flip it to its highest form, when unity is channeled not towards arrogance, but towards chesed, towards building something good, something holy. That's what happened here. This playground is our community's keva. It's our ark, built not to escape the world, but to elevate it. It's our migdal, not a tower of pride, but a tower built on love, built on teamwork, generosity, and the shared vision that our children's happiness is a beautiful form of avodas Hashem. The Sfas Emes in Lech Lecha writes that Avram's true greatness was not just in believing in Hashem, but teaching the world that life is meant to be built together with others. His journey wasn't solitary. He traveled with Nefesh Asher Asu V'Choron, the people he inspired along the way. Holiness, he teaches, is not found in isolation, but in connection. And that's exactly what we've done. This project represents what a kehillah is meant to be, not a group of individuals, but as a family unit that dreams, that builds and rejoices together. If you think that we just built a playground, you could not be more wrong. On behalf of BRS, please indulge me for a moment as I'd like to express a heartfelt thank you and to show enormous gratitude to the people who made this dream a reality. To the Playground Design Committee, Dr. Daniel Robin, Mimi Amsterdam, Shari Haik, and Ilana Landau. Your creativity, skillful design, and persistence transformed an idea into this beautiful space. And to the Fundraising Committee, Talia Borenstein, Orly Cohen, Dr. Elon Rosenblatt, Dr. Ellie Mendelsohn, Danny Krasner, Dr. Larry Halperin. Your dedication, generosity, and drive turn this vision into a reality. Even as recent as 11 p.m. last night, this special group of people made sure that we had a clear space and a freshly clean playground for our special event today. And you all get an extra special thank you for sticking with the Playground WhatsApp group, created in September of 2023. That alone deserves an award for patience. Our thanks also goes out to Alan Berger for his tireless help in ensuring that all the landscaping, plumbing, paving, mulching, and so much more got completed. We could not have done that without you. Thank you. What is true across all the people and the teams that have helped is that without the unwavering support of our spouses and families, this would not have happened. So thanks are certainly due to you guys for running point for the endless meetings, late nights, and last-minute requests. Thank you for stepping up and being the physical and emotional support this community needed. A very special thank you as well to Christine Frost from Playworks and Josh Adams from Safe for Play. This dynamic duo are the creative force behind the playground's final design and construction. Beyond their expertise, their hidden generosity and quiet sensitivity ensure that this playground will not only be safe and beautiful, but truly exceptional, a place that reflects their care, craftsmanship, and heart. And with that in mind, I'd like to formally recognize Christine here today. Please step forward to receive a small token of our gratitude. It reads, in gratitude and recognition of your dedication and craftsmanship in building Esti's playgrounds, Boca Raton Synagogue, October 26th, 2025. You didn't just build a playground, you built a world of smiles. My final word of thanks are reserved for Rabbi Rebbetzin Moskowitz, whose unwavering trust and gracious partnership guided our committee. Throughout this journey, we know how profoundly meaningful and deeply personal this dedication is. And on behalf of the various playground committees, I can say that we are truly humbled and honored to be entrusted with bringing it to life. It has been a true privilege to share in the vision, design, and realization of this playground, a lasting tribute that will bring joy to generations of children in Esti's memory. We remember that every smile, every moment of laughter here will be a reflection of her chaim, her kindness, and her simchas hachaim. So, I leave our community with a blessing. May this playground be more than a place of play. May it be a mikdash heart, a small sanctuary of joy and friendship, a place where community, kindness, and love of life meets. May it inspire us to keep building with emunah, with hope, and with achdus. Baruch Hashem, we are still building. Just take a look outside of our campus. Please continue to being our stakeholders in this incredible project. It's not too late. We also have some surprise additions to the playground in the works, so please stay tuned. And may it remind us, always, that when Jews come together to build something good for our children, for our future, we bring a little more of Hashem's light into the world. Thank you.
I think we're gonna have a very good time. I hope you had a good time building it too. So I want the kids to be good to each other and nice to one another.
Just how much the show cares about the community and the kids in it.
Yeah, it's gonna be so kind, so I hope everybody's gonna be so kind like Esti. I want everybody to stay healthy, never fall down, always be yourself, and have a smile on your face every single day. I hope kids that come here will have fun and be nice to you. I am thankful for this playground because now my friends and I have somewhere to hang out on top. We'll have a fun time and make new friends. We'll have fun and make new friends. I hope the kids who play the playground will have fun and love the playground and its new upgrades. I hope kids who play here will include everyone and anyone who wants to play just the way this is. I hope kids who play here will be nice and kind and proud to each other.
And I hope that the kids who play on this playground will really feel your presence and see your smile.
I hope a lot of kids smile at the playground because that's what Esti would want, because she gives smiles to other people.
I hope the kids who play here will learn the value of inclusivity and kindness when playing with each other to ensure that Esti's legacy was.
I wish this playground is that kids have fun and they play with Esti. I hope that the children at Esti's playground go to each other, have a great time, and always have a smile on their face, just like Esti. I hope that the kids at Esti's playground will be safe. It'll be a great place to take a sip of love.
Each breath that I take, a smile from above. How could I not serve you with all of my love?
My goal for this playground is that it's bring joy to kids who cannot have generations to come. So it'll be a place for families to come to school and enjoy together. As it will bring smiles to so many people. I think it will feel things can be very fun for all kids to have fun, to make new friends again.
I hope kids who play here will enjoy it like Esti.
The kids to be kind. I'm thankful for the playground because I could spend many hours of shops there. My favorite from the playground is for the kids to enjoy it. I'm thankful for the playground. It's going to be a fun place that it will last a long time. Fun! I'm going to be like Esti. So reading it nicely after the record from Mocha. I don't like it. Sam will make all the kids happy. I hope the kids who play here will laugh and play with their friends. I hope kids who play here will be nice. Everyone should remember Esti because she was there last time. I hope kids who play here will smile. I'm so excited to see Esti's playground. I'm so excited to play in Esti's playground.
I hope kids who play here will be kind and include everyone like Esti always did.
That all their smiles should be only for Esti to shine.
My grandma for this playground is for everyone to be nice and have fun. And everyone can remember Esti. I'm thankful for this playground. I can't wait to play on it with all my friends. It's a beautiful place and everybody can have fun. It'll always remind us of Esti and how amazing she is. children should have fun and they should be safe and treat each other nice. My bracha for the playground is for it to be used to emulate Esti's mitos topos and to spread kindness. When I play with it reminds me of playing with Esti.
All of the kids who play on it will remember Esti and do things she loves most, playing with friends.
I hope kids who play will be kind and thankful for this playground. We hope that the kids who play here will smile and include everyone just like Esti would. Esti remains part of our lives forever.
I'd like to call upon Mrs. Sheila Sharp to share a few words.
Wasn't prepared to speak after the video, so. I'd like to thank the Moskowitz family for the opportunity to share some thoughts on this very special day. For those who don't know me, I was Esti's very lucky first grade mover. Esti was also like part of our family, even joining my daughter Eti's family art group during COVID. My nieces refer to her as our new cousin Eti. She made everyone feel so comfortable right away. A few years ago, I was offered an amazing job opportunity in the business world. While I never saw myself leaving the classroom, I felt I really needed to consider this rare chance to grow in a different field. Days before I had to make a decision whether to take the opportunity or not, I was in the car with my sister to daven by our mother's kever on her yard site. My mother, Ella Hashalom, is buried in the same cemetery as the Lubavitcher Rebbe's front of So I went afterwards to daven by the Rebbe's all for clarity on the job opportunity. As we were leaving, I stopped to use the restroom while my sister waited for me in the foyer where they play videos of the Rebbe speaking. When I walked into the room afterwards, my sister was anxiously trying to get my attention, telling me to listen to the video and that the Rebbe was giving the answer to my job dilemma. The Rebbe was saying that if anyone has the privilege to teach Yiddish and Neshamas how to read Hebrew and instill in them the importance of mitzvos, most specifically the mitzvah of tzedakah, that person to do it for the rest of their life, because there is no amount of money in the world that could replace the tzechusim that person will receive every time their students daven or learn Torah, using the Hebrew reading skills taught to them or performs a mitzvah learned in their class. After the video was over, my sister looked at me and said, "I think he was talking to you." As I was preparing for today, every time I sat down, I kept thinking about the story, and I couldn't understand why, until I did. Well, Esti Ala Shalom is not an official Mora. She taught me a lot. I've taken on some mitzvot that I choose to keep private, a mitzvot that have drastically changed my life in Chus. And I know that every time I perform them, I know it is a suchos for the sweet neshama. Coming up here to speak does not come natural to me, as I'm more comfortable in a room of 6 and 7-year-olds. But if what I share inspires just one person in the room to live their lives a little more like Esti, then maybe it will not only be something wonderful for them, but also a huge suchos for Esti. Or maybe you can call her Esti the bestie, as I often called her, until another student called me out for calling her the bestie. So eventually she became Esti the best bestie, which means Esti the best sister. But she knew what I really meant when I said that. We have all heard many inspirational stories of how Esti conducted herself in the classroom. Esti helped her peers who struggle with learning in a very kind and thoughtful way, and she was motivated to learn Torah, always focused on the lessons. We've heard how Esti inspired her classmates to daven over Zoom during the summer of 2020, while camp and school were not yet open, and how this has inspired the Esti davening program at Catskill Day School that has inspired hundreds of students and their families to daven every Shabbos and Sunday in memory of Esti. I recently received an email from a parent that told me that seeing how passionate her child has become about davening on the weekend because of this program, the mother now davens 7 days a week for the first time in her life. Only Esti can be inspiring tefillah in the life of a 30-something-year-old woman she never met. We have heard how almost every child in her class thought of Esti as their best friend. And while she actually did have 2 best friends, she never made any other child feel like they ranked less or had less of a place in her heart. We have heard stories about how Esti has had a positive way to see things and had an emunah that we all aspire to have, and a bitachon that never wavered even in her hardest times. But for today's ceremony, however, I decided that I would highlight stories that exemplified Esti's incredible midos, specifically on her school playground. The playground is sometimes the place where even the most well-behaved child loses themselves in competition or the feeling of finally freedom. Esti never did, and I mean never did, not once. She was always Esti, wherever she was. Kind, thoughtful, and happy Esti. Esti magically balanced being a competitive person with her kindness and obvious Yisrael. She never put herself first, while she still also made sure she was taken care of and had what she needed to enjoy her time socially with her peers. This is a talent, a rare talent that few children have, especially at 6 and 7 years old. Esti enjoyed everything she did to the fullest. When she sat for a partial lesson, she did it with a big smile. When she davened, she sang the holy words of the tefillos while seriously focused but smiling. When she played with her friends, she giggled and smiled. And when she ate a candy, she fully enjoyed it, never wasting an ounce, licking her fingers to the last drop with a smile. And when Esti went on that playground, she never wasted a second of play. I remember that she had asked me early on in the school year to tell her when it was 5 minutes to playground time. After the third time she asked me, I said, Esti, why do I need to give you a 5-minute warning to recess? She said, I want to make sure I use the bathroom before we go out so I don't waste any time. Those who know me know that I'm a planner. So I had a lot of respect for her thinking ahead like that and felt she earned her 5-minute warning for the rest of the school year. I decided to spend my lunch break recently during the quiet time at the school playground for the inspiration to write the speech, thinking of Esti and her amazing classmates, so many of which I see today. It didn't take very long until I was laughing, and of course not long after that crying. I'll first share the story that made me laugh. I remember once when Esti and her friends were playing on the red spiderweb obstacle, Esti got stuck. She was hanging upside down, of course, not panicked, but giggling. I ran over to help her, and she quickly said, I got it. This happens all the time. The tiger mower and me uneasily stood there worried, watching an unsteady but determined Esti find a way, not so gracefully, but effectively, to get herself unstuck, of course giggling the whole way through. Of course, this was all happening while her classmates were cheering her on. At some point during the ordeal, I said to Esti, why are you being such an akshani? And without missing a beat, and in her sweet sing-song voice, she said, I don't know what that means. So I laughed and I said back in the same sing-song voice, it means you're being stubborn. But again, while still trying to get herself out, hanging upside down, she said, I don't know what that word means either. I laughed and explained to her what it means to be stubborn, and she laughed and said, yeah, that's me. The story made me laugh, since this summed up our determined, independent, and happy Esti. After remembering this fun and playful story, I then turned to the front of the playground and remembered a story I reflect on often. It's an inspiration for myself. One day, a student on the more catchy side of students was complaining that she didn't feel well. She was a frequent flyer to the nurse and had already visited the nurse 2 times that morning, with reports back that Baruch Hashem, the student was perfectly healthy. When we got out to the playground, she once again began to complain. I felt her head, and she did not feel warm, and I decided not to send her to the nurse for a 3rd time. The child went to sit on the side of the playground. In seconds of her sitting on the side, Esti stopped her game by the cave, which was her favorite spot on the playground, to sit with her classmate. Quickly after sitting with her friend, Esti came to tell me she thinks her friend, and in Esti's words, is really sick this time. And she asked if she could bring her back to the nurse. I explained to Esti, who I often called Mora Esti, she was frequently assisting me in Marokano, that I had already sent her friend 2 times to the nurse. She didn't seem satisfied with my answer, but respectfully walked away and went back to sit with her friend. 5 minutes later, Esti came back to me and gave me a hug, and then stared at me with a big smile. And just stood there, smiling. After about a minute of this, I said, yes, Esti. And then she went into an Esti bed session. And for anyone who ever encountered one, they were never annoying, they were so cute. And she always knew I gave in to them. Please, Mora Shira, please, can I please take her to the nurse? Followed by yet another hug and a sweet smile and another, Mora Shira, I really think she's sick this time. As the Moskowitzes can tell you, I had a hard time saying no to Esti. And I allowed her to take her friend to the nurse. No surprise, since I'm telling the story today, I quickly got a call from Nurse Robin letting me know that the girl had 102.3 fever and she was sending her home. When Esti returned, I thanked her for being the best Mora Esti. She gave me another hug, and instead of saying, "I told you so," which I deserved, she said, "Thank you, Mora, for letting me bring her." This was Esti. She had a feeling in her gut. Her gut was usually right. When she felt she knew something was right, she didn't give up. And when she was right, she never made a big deal about it. She always took a win with class, and never with the earned and age-appropriate brag session. I have made a major change in my classroom since then, to the dismay of Nurse Robin. But I very rarely say to a student who asks to go to the nurse, "No, don't tell your children." And I follow the Esti gut on this. I will also try to listen to the kids more in the same sensitive Esti way. Esti taught me to be more sensitive, always approach others with kindness, follow your gut. It felt like Esti's gut was a whisper from Hashem, and I felt I had been blessed by listening to this whisper more often, and have seen that this has had a significant positive impact on the way I teach and live my life inside and outside the classroom. I've had the privilege of teaching each of the Moskowitz children. While this playground is being dedicated in memory of Esti, Allah Shalom, I feel it is important to mention the impact each of the Moskowitz children have had on our community and to delve ben chaim l'chaim on Esti. From Moshe, Esti learned that you could be there for your friends in a quiet way, just being there, picking up with the team, sitting next to them, or giving them a smile just when they need it. From big sister Shayna, Esti learned the importance of action. I don't think Esti would have gone through Zoom school without her tech help and encouragement. Shayna is a doer, and Esti really learned that from her. From younger sister Minola, not only did Esti have a fun play date, but she had a person we can all learn the importance of advocating for yourself from. It's an underrated but important meter which Esti had in spades. If Esti had not spoken up for herself when Zoom school was over and asked for davening Zoom to continue, not only would she not have the opportunity and her classmates would have missed out, and I would have missed out from davening with them, but I don't know that we'd have the Esti program that has been such an inspiration to so many. Moshe, Shayna, and Rena, I want you to know that you share in the special person Esti was, and I love each of you, and such nachas seeing what amazing people you are growing into being. Rabbi and Rebbe Moskowitz, choosing to keep my message to you both between us. I don't think I've kept my feeling towards Esti a secret to you. I feel blessed to have the success to partner with you 4 times. I look forward to Mir Hashem teaching the grandchildren. May this playground be a place where Esther Tehila Allah Shalom, Sarav, Gabriel Pinchas, Shitachya continue to inspire children to be kind, thoughtful, and inclusive. May her neshama have an aliyah each time a father can daven since his child is happily playing on the playground, or a mother can go to a shiur because she knows her child is happily occupied on this gorgeous playground. May we continue to be inspired by Esti, and may our actions as a result of that inspiration continue to be zechus to Esti. Thank you.
In the 13 months that we spent in the hospitals, both in Memphis and more locally at Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, we kept getting the same remarks from the doctors, nurses, and staff. We were in complete disbelief as to what our community and friends were doing to support us. They had never seen such a thing. We would go on and on trying to explain how blessed we were to have such a special and giving community back home in Boca Raton, Florida. The word community, from its Latin roots, encompasses a message that reflects each and every one of you here with us today. Community stems from the concept to come in unity. Our beloved Boca Raton Synagogue community has members of different ages, different backgrounds, different religious affiliations, and different political views. Yet in the 16 years that we have lived here, we have witnessed your incredible ability to not only come and show up, but to come in unity. Being part of the BRS community means not only showing up, it means showing up together. We put our differences aside and then we show up. We show up for the bitter, we show up for the sweet, and you have all showed up today for a memorable moment for our shul, the dedication of the brand new Esti's playground. Which quite honestly is a little both bitter and sweet. Eislich Kos, the Eislich Chok, Eisifod, the Easter Code. A time to weep, and a time to laugh and play, a time to mourn, and a time to dance. What child doesn't like to laugh and play? Children are born with a biological capacity to laugh and play. Even Shlomo HaMelech understood this. When toys are put in front of them, or when they are placed in a fun park, most children love to explore and play. Esti didn't just play. She played hard, she played smart, and she played kind. She was not satisfied with running free on a playground. Very often, when we would get to any playground, her favorite thing would be to ask me to create an obstacle course for her, and then time how long it would take her to complete it. It would go something like this. First, climb up the ladder, slide down the pole, climb across the monkey bars, circle the butterfly twice, and then run back to me. Most kids just see a playground, but not Esti. Esti saw a challenge. She loved a good challenge, and she knew how to play hard and smart. She would in fact repeat the obstacle course, testing herself to see if she remembered the steps and seeing if she can beat her own time. As I sat there recalling this memory, it struck me that she was as young as 6 and 7 years old when she did this. To our family, this was just Esti. But as I repeat these memories to all of you, I am struck by what an extraordinary trait this is in a young child. She also played kind. As you have heard, Esti's teachers have told us numerous stories of Esti's kindness, specifically when it came to including other children, both in the classroom and especially on the playground or soccer field. When I think about this Mida character trait of hers, my heart is warmed and full of pride. She is and will always be an example of how both children and adults should carry themselves and treat others. For Esti, there was no greater joy than to be playing on a playground with her friends and her most special siblings, Moshe, Sheena, and Rita, always up for a game, a bike ride, a soccer match, or just a plain old good time. That was the essence of our sweet little girl. One of the only other times Esti was in an emergency room was in August 2019, Tisha B'Av night. We had visited several parks during our time away. We were away for the summer visiting our families in New York and Boston. Apparently, Esti had done so much monkey bar climbing, she developed a wound on her hand that needed medical attention. Her love of monkey bars actually ended her up in the ER. What was the first question she asked after having her hand bandaged up? Could she climb with that bandage on? Nothing would stop her. I want to share what a tremendous part play and playgrounds and parks were in the year of 2022. As most of you know, my husband and I relocated with Esti and later Rena to Memphis, Tennessee, where Esti received the highest quality of treatment in the world at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. For many months, we rented a home in the Frum community, and the shuls there happened to have recently redone their playgrounds, which were beautiful, massive, and spectacular. Esti was extremely athletic and strong. I remember the first time we visited the incredible Shul Park in Memphis, and I was so excited to just have some fun with her. However, my heart sank when she told me when we got there, she was not in the mood. She wasn't up to playing on the playground. The pain of seeing my fun-loving, energetic daughter
pain of seeing my fun-loving, energetic daughter not having the strength to climb the structure will be seared in my heart forever. But we returned to the playground a few weeks later, and this time, she refused to not conquer the playground. This time, she wanted to give it a try. She literally used every ounce of energy she had and fought with all of her might to climb the lowest rungs. You see, Esti didn't feel bad or sad. She just knew she would try even harder. We returned to that Shul Park many more times, and every time she would work on building her strength, climbing higher and higher, and she did just that. She also loved basketball. She was a little 9-year-old, and so getting the ball in the park's adult-sized hoop was a long shot. I literally have no idea where she mustered the power from, but she practiced and practiced and practiced, and sure enough, she was able to get the shots in. I probably would not have believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. On July 4th, 2022, my husband and I took Esti to one of the fun indoor play places in Memphis, which we visited often. However, this time was different. We went to go play with the actual arcades, a welcome distraction in more difficult days. But on that day, Esti looked up and saw the aerial ropes course and said, "Daddy, I want to do that today." My husband and I looked at each other in disbelief. We were petrified to let her do something like that in her condition. She said she wanted to climb the tight ropes in the air while harnessed and complete the whole ropes course. There was no convincing her otherwise. So we compromised, and I went up with her and following behind her as she walked the tightrope several feet in the air. Ariel stood on the ground in disbelief, filming this moment. Let's just say I think it was Esti helping me and not the other way around. This child had the determination and drive that most adults do not acquire in a lifetime. She put her mind to it and sure enough completed the entire aerial ropes course without a hitch. Esti was so proud of herself, and for good reason.
Right then and there, I sent a video of this to her doctor, Dr. Kelsey Bertrand. I found my email from that very special day. It read, "I'm sorry to bother you on your day off, but Esti asked me to share this video of her doing a very difficult course at the main event arcade. She was justifiably very proud of herself and knew you would be too." Dr. Bertrand quickly replied just a few minutes later, "Whoa, that's awesome. I'm definitely very proud of her." As you can see from these short stories, Esti gave new meaning to play hard, play smart, and play kind. Whatever she did, whether it be homework, climbing on monkey bars, or davening, praying, she gave it 150% of her focus and effort. I so love that about her and try to aspire to her level of grit, motivation, and passion. To build, boneh in Hebrew, has the same root as binah, wisdom. Every aspect of this playground was created by our dedicated design team with wisdom, meaning, and intention. Each element was designed to incorporate the highest play quality to include the most children with small, subtle nods to Esti, including her favorite colors, her favorite hobbies, her favorite activities on the playground, specifically the climbing elements and monkey bars. The custom design elements on the turf that were curated by the talented Josh Adams from Safer Play were designed to create not just play, but play with values, midos, and kindness, exactly as Esti would have liked it. The colors and design were incorporated to bring light, brightness, and warmth to this special area. A personal thank you to Josh and Christine for taking on this project and infusing it with creativity, but more importantly, your heart. From our first meeting around our dining room table, when we showed you some videos and pictures of Esti, it was clear that you would take this project to heart and make it the absolute best, and that's exactly what you did. Thank you for your partnership and care that you infused into this most special playground. In closing, my bracha, my blessing to all of the children of our Boca Raton community. As you enter into our brand new playground, Esti's playground, remember what it means to play hard. Bring your strength, your motivation to go one rung higher, your belief in yourself to accomplish the impossible. Play smart. Don't just see a play structure, see an opportunity to imagine, to create, to invent. And most of all, play kind. If you see someone sitting on the side or playing alone, go up to them and invite them to join you. Include someone new in your game. Go up to a child you don't know and introduce yourself. Ask them their name. I promise you that if you take all of these lessons and bring them to life on our new playground, you will undoubtedly make our sweet Esti and most importantly, Hashem very, very proud.
What do I feel on a morning like this? On the one hand, this is an extremely happy and momentous occasion for our community. It represents, as we've spoken about, the first completed part of our multi-million-dollar campus expansion, a milestone that is the culmination of hundreds of hours of work, incredible generosity, and so much love and creativity. On the other hand, that joy is tempered by a deep and lasting sadness. Because while thousands of children will please God enjoy this playground, there will always be one sweet 9-year-old girl who won't be there. And so what do I feel on a morning like this? One of the unique aspects of our humanity is our ability to hold two seemingly conflicting emotions at the same time. Unlike any other creature, we can experience fear and happiness, sorrow and joy, or anxiety and excitement all intertwined in a single moment. Think about the rush of a roller coaster, where your heart pounds in terror, even as you laugh with exhilaration, or the way a moving film can make you cry, while still making you feel uplifted. This emotional complexity is part of what makes us human. The ability and the capacity to live in the tension of opposites, to feel deeply and fully, and to find meaning even in the most paradoxical experiences. And that captures my emotions this morning. A brand new state-of-the-art playground, a place of laughter, joy, and fun, dedicated in memory of my Esti, our Esti, a sweet little 9-year-old girl. A morning that fluctuates constantly between deep sadness and equally profound happiness. A morning that is best described by the word bittersweet. The Zohar quote in the Tanya writes, "B'chia tekiya b'liba mitzadada, b'chedva mitzada," that crying is lodged in one side of the heart, and joy in the other side of the heart. A human being can hold both at once. Tears in one side of the heart, gratitude and happiness in the other. This expresses itself in halacha as well. The Shulchan Aruch writes, "Meis aviv mevarich dayan emes, hayalomam b'sheyosha mevarich gam ki in shechiyanu." That one whose father initially initially recites the bracha of dayan ha'emes, the Jewish blessing upon hearing bad news. But because he is also the inheritor, he also says the bracha of shechiyanu, a Jewish blessing of gratitude. The Mishnah Berurah adds that that second joyous bracha is made even though it is mixed with sadness, sorrow over loss, joy over an inheritance, two conflicting emotions held together simultaneously in the exact same heart. And so this morning, I believe that it's okay to feel both. Crying in one side of my heart, profound and deep joy and gratitude in the other. But why a playground? When Rabbi Goldberg and I first spoke, and he offered a generous offer to designate something on the campus in memory of Esti, The original suggestion was the grand lawn. Obviously, Ari and I were deeply appreciative and touched, but something didn't feel right. A grand lawn, while generous, didn't fit our little Esti. We felt it would be more meaningful to have something that would best capture the essence of who she was and what she loved to do. But I think there's something deeper about a playground. The Rebbe Rashab, the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe, writes that a Jew must always live in Welt and Oiswelt. A Jew must always live fully inside this world and yet at the same time also be able to rise above and beyond. And perhaps that's the true significance of this morning. After all, a playground is so much more than metal and bolts. There's something profoundly beautiful about taking a child to a playground, sitting on a bench, watching them climb, slide, and swing. It feels so ordinary and so simple. And yet it's one of the deepest expressions of hope and of life itself. In a world that can hold so much sadness and pain, a playground can be a sanctuary of sorts, one that invites us to also live oisvelt, beyond the heaviness of this world. It invites us to feel joy and gratitude, even when our heart still aches. So it should come as no surprise that when the Navi Zechariah describes the ultimate redemption, he paints the picture not of grand miracles or mighty battles, but of children playing. He describes that the streets will be full of boys and girls playing and laughing together. Something so normal and yet so holy. In Welt and Oisvelt. Something so ordinary and yet something so transcendent. It's precisely the laughter and happiness of children, the sight of them playing freely and joyfully, that itself becomes the vision of redemption. And today, as we go outside in just a few moments, we see a glimpse of that vision come to life. And so yes, this morning I miss Esti deeply. I miss her smile, her laughter, and her jokes. I miss playing with her, and I miss her happy, smart, sweet, inquisitive, strong, resilient, and caring personality. I miss it all a lot. And yet this playground is also Oisvelt. It transcends all of that. Because I know that Esti would have loved this playground. She would be the first on the monkey bars and the fastest down the slide, and she would love to have seen other children enjoy the playground as well. See, the vast majority of you in this room didn't really know Esti. You've gotten to know her through the projects that we've done in her memory, through the stories that you've heard, and through the qualities that we've described. But one thing to me is crystal clear, and that is that Esti would never have wanted to be associated with sadness, because she was never sad. She was literally always happy. She loved to play with her friends. She loved a good joke. And she truly believed that giving someone a warm smile can change their world. And so yes, this playground, our community's new, beautiful playground, is the perfect way to remember. Is part of me sad this morning? Of course. And yet, in my same heart, I am equally filled with genuine and true gratitude and fulfillment. And truly and sincerely grateful that we have built something that the children of our community will enjoy for years to come. And that the joy, smiles, midos tovos, and kindness that this playground inspires will always carry Esti's name. This morning, I am grateful to all of you who have showed up. I'm grateful to our friends and our family from near and from far, who not only came this morning to be with us, but who are with us at every second, every day. I'm grateful to our rabbis, to the staff, and to this remarkable and loving community that I feel so truly blessed to be a part of. I'm grateful for all of the special guests that are here. To mention just a few, Dr. Melissa Schenker, Esti's doctor, and 2 of Esti's nurses from Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital who have joined us here this morning, who mean so much to us and had such an impact on Esti's life and on our lives. To Anna Cook and Yala Wakneen, we are truly, truly grateful and indebted to you. I'm grateful to the incredible team we worked with, to Christine and to Josh. As I mentioned in the program brochure today, from our very first meeting, I knew that you were the ones who would not only get the job done, maybe an hour before Shabbos, but you'd get the job done. But you would do it with thoughtfulness and sensitivity. Because from our first meeting, you understood that this was not just another playground. I'm deeply grateful to the committee members who invested countless hours of planning and creativity and hard work. Ariel and I are so grateful for the love and sensitivity and dedication that each of you poured into every single detail. Special debt of gratitude to you, Joe, and to Ilana Landau for all of the above and beyond that the 2 of you went to make sure that this was truly a spectacular and special playground and event this morning. And of course, we are grateful and humbled by the generosity of so many donors, especially our dear friends who stepped forward to make this playground a reality. And so my bracha, my blessing is that while we all still live in Welt, in this world, we allow ourselves this morning to also be Eisfeld, celebrating this magnificent, meaningful, and joyous playground. A playground that allows us to rise above and beyond the pain and challenges of this world, and to connect not only to the neshama of Esther, Tehillah Bas Gabriel Pinchas, but also to enjoy the sweet and ordinary sounds of children playing. May every smile, may every act of kindness, and may every beautiful moment created here be an aliyah for Esti's neshama and a source of light and joy for our community for many, many years to come. Everyone's invited to the playground with your children. We'll meet you there for carnival treats and the ribbon cutting ceremony of the playground. That's not a... I'm sorry, it's a busy Sunday. Oh, That guy is in every picture. Starts this video. know it's a busy weekend. I know it's a busy weekend. It's been 16 years since you coerced me to take the job.